Welcome to B-MoneyTrading. Coming to you live. I'm a little under the weather, but today's the day that Dow came out with earnings, and this is the day we've been waiting for. So that said, go ahead and look at the move it's made. So we see here it came out with earnings and it jumped up. I was expecting it to have a bigger push. You know, it's 2 minutes till market open, so we'll see how it moves. You know, the current price 51.50 is what's going for, and you know, my options were for the 52.50 call. They expire tomorrow, so we'll see how much value they've gained, and hopefully this is enough push to keep the momentum going up. You know, it also looks like the SPY has gained momentum back the other way. You know, it had a big fall yesterday, really big hit, and now it's started gaining momentum, start pushing the other way. So probably not gonna sit here and chat a whole lot. If you want to fast forward, if you're watching this later on today, you want to fast forward and see the outcome, that's probably what I would do, to be honest, instead of just sitting here listening to silence. But it's 1 minute till market open, so we'll see what happens. We got a big push. Break it down to the 5-minute chart. It's got the conference call today at 9 o'clock. Depending on how it goes, I might let half of it go, sell one, depending on how much I'm out, and then hold on to the other and see what happens after the conference call. And we'll play it by ear. There we go. We're in the 52s now. Market's opened. And if you look right now, the value for the two contracts are 100 now, is 104. Let's open the market, so it's going to jump, and it's going to jump around. And so I'll keep y'all posted on that. See, the volatility is trying to find its value. What's the stock worth right now? And so that's what's in search of right market open. People are trying to decide what its value is for today. You know, expecting once the conference call comes at 9 o'clock that you'll see it really start to push up some more. This may be a hold till tomorrow. I don't like holding overnight, especially after I was planning for it to make its initial move. But sometimes that's a risk you gotta be willing to take. Alright, there we go. It's pushing up some more. You see here the earnings was 177 was the estimate. Actuals was 180, so it made a little bit more than expected, but not a whole lot more. And just because it beat the expectation on earnings, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's gonna go up. Now when the conference call comes out, people are going to talk, and a lot of the investors are going to base, whether they're going to continue to invest in the company or not based on the direction that the company's headed, and that's going to be based on the conference call. So don't make the mistake of playing earnings and saying, oh, well, the value of it went up, it beat earnings, and then wondering why it went down. People on the phone on the conference call could have, said something that the rest of the investors didn't like the direction the company was headed, so instead the value of it goes down. It's about we're looking at the future. We're trying to speculate on what's going to do in the future, and people tend to forget that, and they think, oh, well, it beat earnings, why is it, it should be going up. That's not always the case. Earnings is very tricky to play. That's why if I play an earnings, I prefer to do it on options and not invest in the actual stock and buying shares. At least that way I know how much exposure I have, how much I stand to lose max. Now you can do like a stop loss, but depending on who your broker is, it could gap down in pre-market, and by the time you're able to actually do the transaction, it's too late. You've taken a big hit. At least this way I know I'm risking 98 bucks. Worst case scenario, they go down to zero, or they're worth $1. And so you get a lot of new traders that jump in. They look on stock twits or a Facebook trading group, and they see like everyone's talking about this penny stock. I think one of the latest ones was IGC, India Growth Capital, which is a weed stock. It was recently valued I guess under $1, and it's made a move in the past weeks up to $4 or $5 or something. I haven't been keeping a real close eye on it, but you got people that now they've got the news late, whatever the case may be, and they jump in at 450, and then in a day it drops down to $3 or 320 or whatever the case may be, you know, and you know they're out, and that's it. They're like, man, that's the end of the trading, because they took a big loss, and they didn't realize, like, man, you know, wasn't expecting that to happen. I don't understand. A lot of new traders that don't last very long for that reason. You know, we'll go ahead and pull it up and see exactly what happened. Pull up the 4-hour. So you can see it made a huge jump. Now if you jumped on the bandwagon down here, you know, you might have made some money, you know, if you were able to hold, because if you see here, you bought in if you didn't take profit, and you bought in down here, and it made this jump down here, and people are like, ow, you know, like, what we got? So 658. Say you bought in down here at 610, it goes up 658, you didn't take profit, and it comes back down to 545. You know, that's over $1 loss, and you think you had, you know, 1,000 shares. You know, you took a nice little hit on that one, and so they weren't able to withstand the pain, and so they sold, and then you see it continue to run up. And then they look at it the next day and they're like, oh man, I knew I should have held, you know, whatever. Well, hindsight's 2020, and at that time you can only risk so much money. The only good thing about option is you bought one option, say for, which I don't think IGC had any options offered on it, since it's such a low penny stock, as well as low float. But you can see, and now it's continued to sell off, and truth be told, it'll probably come back down. It'll probably come back down to $2, maybe even lower. You know, you can see it found support here at around $4. It's got the 180-day over here at 366. I would expect for it to at least get down to 366, if not lower. People that got lots of money and have a good broker or whatever that's offering shares to short, you know, are making a killing off of this. And as far as Dow, it's not looking so hot. No, you know, it's been way oversold. It's back up now, and I talked in another video. I'd expect for it to have hit this 20-day moving average. Now back here it was at, I think it was like 52 something, 52.50. You can see the high for today, 52.37. I'm hoping it will continue to find more support. We got the conference call coming up, so I think people are starting to get scared, so we're seeing it sell off. I'm going to continue to hold and see how this plays out. I'm thinking right now, worst case scenario, I'll find support around 50, 60, 50, 70, which that's going to be the 180-day on the 5-minute chart. And you're probably wondering right now what the options are valued at. I'll go ahead and show you. Going down right now. You know, I was up earlier. That's why people don't like, you know, trading options, is because you can make a lot or lose a lot. And this is only on 2 options, and I'm down 52 bucks. Earlier, I was up, you know, the volume was 104. Now it's 46 bucks. So they're going for $24 right now. And it's because people are looking at the chart and they don't believe that it's gonna come around and be valued worth more than what the option calls for by the end of market Friday. And so they're not willing to pay that much. You know, and I say this to kind of help the new trader understand, like, we're looking at value. If we can just keep it in general terms, you know, just like when you go to buy something, you're looking for a good deal. This is what people are valuing it at right now, because they see the chart, they see it's now reversed and started having downward momentum. It doesn't have a lot though, and so that's why it's valued right now. And if you wonder why it's valued so low, with it being at 51.35, 51.36, the price of the stock, it's because there's only a day and a half left before this contract expires, and so the likelihood or probability is lessened that it'll hit that price target within the time frame that's left for it to do so. And so when people talk about the theta, you know, when they talk about the Greeks, they're talking about time decay. And time decay is basically, there's less time now for it to hit that price, and so I'm not going to be willing to pay as much, with it being however far away from that price as I was yesterday. Even if the price stayed exactly the same from yesterday to today, the fact that time has passed and the probability has become less likely that it'll hit that price, people are not willing to pay so much. And so as this makes turn around, we can see here the value is going back up on the contract. Now they're worth 30 each. Total value is 60 bucks. No. You can see when I purchased the contracts and the total value I purchased them, $49 each, the total 98 bucks. And we're gonna see how this conference call plays out. I expect for it to get more momentum and start pushing up once this conference call goes through. Now you can see they're worth $70 for both of them, $39 each. So I'm basically down $10 on each contract right now. And if you're wondering why it says today's returns, it's because that's what, you know, it opened up at, the value of the contracts. And so for whatever they opened up at today, which I believe was like $32, then it's up $4 for the day. But ultimately we're looking at the total returns, because that's how much money I'm either up or I'm down. We're not so worried about today's returns as we are as the total. For new traders that wonder what this exactly means. And so we see the prices pushing up. 51.58 was at 51.66. You know, no price usually goes just straight up. It's going to go up and down, up and down. Hopefully it continues to go up and down. More up than down though. You'll hear people talk about higher highs and lower lows, and that's what's going to create an uptrend. So it's going to keep watching the chart. Trading can get pretty boring sometimes, and you know, that's really what it's about, is being patient and waiting. And that's what it comes down to as far as buying in. I have some good picks on quotes that people have made, the difference between amateur traders, novelty, pros, and everything. And I'll have to transfer this onto my computer so that y'all can see them, and hopefully help you start to understand like what the professionals are looking at, what they're waiting for. That if they see a certain area of support or resistance, they're looking to either go short or long, and they're not going to buy until it gets to that area. And if it never gets to that area, then they don't ever buy. And that's where a lot of amateur traders go wrong, is they're not willing to wait. They're looking for action. They're looking for quick money. And it's a lot easier to lose money trading than it is to make money. So the contracts are going up in value. Now they're worth 41, so I'm basically down $8 a contract. $9 a contract now, $8. And the value of the stock, it's about to hopefully break 52 and keep on moving up. I got till the end of market close tomorrow. Now, even if it gets over 52.50, it doesn't mean it's necessarily gonna, these contracts are gonna be worth more than what I paid for them. You know, the more it goes past 52.50, the more people are gonna be willing to pay for them. Because basically, if they hold on to them until they expire, that gives them the option to buy the shares, 100 shares on each contract. So that'd be, if they bought both my contracts, that'd be 200 shares, and then give them the option to buy them at 52.50, even though the price of the stock might be at $54 at that, you know, time period when these expire. And so that's why people will be willing to pay more. So now I'm at break even. And the price of the stock continues to push up. It's broken 52. Hopefully, it'll probably drop below 52 a little bit and then come back up and start pushing up more. We haven't hit the conference call yet. People are anticipating it. You know, you got some day traders that are playing this. They're playing the earnings play. They're not gonna plan on sticking in this. They're gonna buy it today and sell it today. And there's day traders day trading contracts on it as well. So it's at 52.05. Drop back down. But now my contracts are valued at 104, so I'm up $6. So that'd be $3 on each contract. $8. And you can see earlier this week I was down over 50% on these contracts. And that's what happens, is people don't stick to the game plan. They say, man, I'm down 50%, I'm gonna go ahead and sell it and just, you know, at least I have some money left and I can hopefully get into another contract. What the whole deal was, is there just a game plan to wait for the earnings. Now I could have went about it smarter and I waited and bought one contract on Wednesday and bought the other one I bought one on Tuesday and the other one on Wednesday in case I can get it for a better deal, you know. And that's one of the things I'll look at, you know, as I review this trade of what could I've done better to improve either the profits, the more likelihood that I would have made something off of it. And that's one of the things I could have done, you know. But there's no telling, the price could have continued to go up and I wouldn't have been able to get them the second contract for the price I got the first one for. It might have cost me more, it might have cost me less. See, now I'm back at break even. Now I'm down $6. You know, it's going up and down, up and down. We'll pull up the 1 minute. You know, in 1 minute how it's going. And it'll probably come back down here to the 9, and people will buy some more of it up. Comes back to the 9's at 51.83. It's at 51.90, the value right now. I'm not expected to come back up. Now people are watching the high of the day so far, and if it's gonna break it. If it breaks the high of the day, then you'll see it have a really good push up, I would expect. You know, we got the high of the day so far at 52.37, and pre-market, let's pan out. It's already broken the high for pre-market, and now we're looking for the high of the day since market open, which would be 52.37. Looking for it to break that. You know, most of my videos, I keep them short. The reason why I'm doing this live stream so long today is because this is the day that the earnings came out. This is the day that we're looking to sell it. And I may continue to hold on to it, depend on what it continues to do. And if that's the case, then I'll go ahead and shut it down. And I'll do an update later on today. And then possibly later on tonight when I get off work and let you know where we're at. See, there it goes. It hit the 9-day EMA. Now it's pushing back up. Alright, so we're 3 minutes away from the conference call. So you see it's starting to sell off some. People are starting to get kind of sketchy, take profits. And you know, people with bigger accounts can take more risks, so they'll hold on. As it drops down, they may buy more, you know. And that's what really makes it tough as a new trader is it takes screen time. It takes sitting here and just watching, which is pretty boring. You know, not even being in a trade sometimes, just sit here and watching to see how it moves, to see what people are looking at, see, you know, why to get volume here at this point, you know, and go up, or why did it get volume at this point and sell off? You know, you got to look at what people are looking at. You know, there are some that still trade off fundamental instead of technical analysis. They use fundamental, and you know, I don't know how they do that, but they do. I mean, you know, from one of the things I was taught early on is if news comes out and you hear about it, you know, watching, you know, CSNBC or, you know, Mad Money or, you know, whatever news outlet you use, if you're hearing about it that way, then you're already too late. You know, if you weren't in it before, then you're just too late. And I've had some experiences where I bought in once I heard the news and I made a little bit of money. I've also have done it to where I've taken a big loss, you know. And a lot of this just takes time and experience, and a lot of people don't have the money to continue to take hits, and that's why people say paper trade. You know, and for what paper trade is, basically it's monopoly money. You're using fake money and trading on that way. And the only thing I ran into the issue with paper trading is that when you know it's not real money, then it's easier to think logically. But when there's emotions involved, your logical and rational thinking gets clouded in your judgment, and you might sell, and then afterwards be like, well, why did I sell? You know, it didn't you know, hit my, you know, as much as I was willing to risk losing my stop loss or whatever the case may be, and I went ahead and sold anyways, or I went ahead and took profit when my goal was for it to go up to this point and then sell. And that's, you know, and that's just gonna take time of using real money. Now you can use real money and limit your losses by buying small share size, you know. And say you start off with $10, $20, $50, and if you're able to make X amount, you know, if you're able to basically continuously grow that money, then, you know, if you can be profitable with that short amount of money, then, you know, maybe it's time to step up and start using more money, bigger share size. But if you can't be profitable with $20, I don't know how you expect to be profitable with $2,000 or $10,000 or $15,000 or $20,000, you know. And that's just really, you know, common sense. If I can't make $20 into $25 over the course of a month trading stocks, or over the course of 2 months trading stocks, then how am I going to make $2,000 into $4,000 over the course of a year trading stocks? So we got the sell-off. The conference call is in action now. I'm looking for it to make a big run up. It may have a big sell-off. As far as these contracts, I'm down about $20 on the contracts total, and so we're just waiting to see. I would like to see it break this 52.37. Will happen? Who knows? We'll see. It's really based on this conference call and what news gets put out. You know, the 5 minute, let me see that the VWAP, it's holding it. can see here it's at the 20-day on the 4-hour, 51.77, and it's valued right now at 50. I'm using Thinkorswim, and it's acting up. It's not giving me accurate updates. So it's saying it's valued at 52.03, 52.11. And now we can see these contracts have gone up in value. The conference call is going on. You have to excuse me, I'm coming down with something, under the weather. I may have to restart the Thinkorswim. A lot of times I won't even fix it. The only good thing about Thinkorswim is that it's free. It's free charting platform. You just have to open up an account. Don't have to put nothing in it. You open up an account, they'll send you paperwork to your house, you know, encouraging you. You take, you know, this is what we're offering or whatnot. Me personally, I never responded, and after, you know, a week or two, haven't heard anything from them since, and, you know, continue to use this charting platform. You know, and the good thing about it is that you get free level 2. And if you're new, you don't know what level 2 is. This is what level 2 is. It's giving me the ask and the bid, how much they're wanting to sell, and for what price, and how much they want to buy and for what price, and then the actual time of sales, what it's going through as. And so it gives me an idea, especially if I'm day trading, at which way it's looking at going. It gives me an idea, though. Keep that in mind. Idea doesn't necessarily mean that this is the way it's going to go. So I'm down $14 total right now on the contracts. With this conference call going on and it not pushing up more, kind of raises cause for concern. One of the things that worried me about taking this trade was that this isn't a highly traded stock for short-term investors. It's mainly a more long-term traded stock, and you probably wonder how I can tell that. I can tell it just by looking at the chart and the volume, that it hasn't made like huge price changes. They're gradual. You know, the volatility is real low. You know, you don't see people posting on Facebook, Dow, you know, jump in Dow, you know, and that lets you know just through looking at other trading media sources that now a lot of people are watching. It's $52 a share stock right now. People are looking at trading $20, $10, $5, $1, you know, share stocks. I mean, personally, if I do trade stocks, equities, ETFs, whatever. I prefer stocks that don't have a high volatility, that gradually go up or gradually go down. It gives you more time to think rationally. I know early on in trading, I was jumping into these cheap stocks, and they would make these huge price moves. Like buy 500 shares, and it would be at $3.40, and then the next minute it'd be all the way down to $3. I'm like, oh my god, sweating bullets. Because I couldn't respond fast enough, and jump out. And that's the deal about trading high volatility stocks. You gotta be able to make a decision on a dime, So believe it or not, I'm just now about at break even on these contracts. It just jumped up. I guess the investors are liking what they're hearing, and so we see. See, I was telling you, I was looking for it to break this high day. At 50, what was it? 52.37, yeah. So now it's at it. It's getting ready to break it. So you can see the value of these contracts go up significantly, and there they go. It's valued at 130, up $24. I paid 49 a contract. Now, if it's gonna keep this momentum up or not, I don't know. And a lot of people say, well, that's not a whole lot of money. You only made 26 bucks. But if you think this is on a $100 account, that if I was to sell right now, I've grown at 22.45%. Now trading stocks on such a small, like $100 account, there's no way you're gonna hit that kind of percentage. It's not impossible, but it's more than likely, if you're to trade a penny stock, that you either be waiting forever for it to make a kind of move like that, or you would end up losing a lot on it. But the likelihood of it doubling in value or even hitting that kind of gain is not likely. And this is a game of probability. We're speculating. And people forget that this is all about speculation. There's a saying that a monkey blindfolded throwing darts at a dartboard could pick winners more often than not than someone that's actually trading and reading the charts. It just happens to randomly pick. And if you stick around trading long enough, you'll start to kind of understand why they say that. One of the things is with trading, for some reason, it's really easy to sell when you're down. Some people find it hard, but once you get enough pain, you'll sell. And for some reason, when you get in profit, you might be up 20 bucks, and it's so hard to hold and wait and hold and wait, and so you go ahead and sell, and then you sell as it has the pullback, and then once you sell, you watch and see the top of the stock just take off on you, and you're like, man, I should have held. Hindsight's always 20/20. There's always going to be money to be made, more money to be made, and more money to be lost. But it's about sticking to the game plan, and that's where we're at right now. I was down over 50% on this trade earlier this week. You know, break even up $2. You know, woohoo! But this whole point is that we're sticking to the game plan. We're gonna see how this plays out. Just because, you know, I could end up still taking a loss on this. There are no guarantees. There's no guarantee until once I sell it. Once I sell it, then the trade is done with, and that's when I can say I made X amount or lost X amount of money. And this thing's jumping the contracts. Alright, so my son just woke up, so I'm gonna go ahead. You can see right now I'm up on the trade, 16 bucks, and I'll do another update later on to let you know if I'm still holding or if I want to sell them. You see here that the break even, if I was holding until expire, would be 53 bucks, and what the average cost was for them that I paid, and you know, they're valued at 55 right now. and so I'm gonna keep holding for now, and I'll do an update later on. Thanks for tuning in. Please either like and subscribe and leave a comment below. Haters and lovers are welcomed. And leave a comment, and I'll make sure to read it out loud the next time I post up. Should be later on today. So with that said, have a great day, and I will see you soon.